The first race of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour saw a pair of names that dominated last season, picking up right where they left off again here for Season 9. A rookie class thought to be the strongest in 3 seasons had an auspicious debut, while established veterans were relegated to also-ran status. Will the trends continue in the next race? We'll find out in less than an hour when the checker flag falls and the results are in. You're watching the Global Sim Racing channel, and its live coverage of Race 2 of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour begins now. Hello, and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel's coverage of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour, Race 2 at Twin Rings Motegi. We've had a ton of gremlins bothering us, but we're going to try to get this in. We've got a bunch of stuff in the pre-race show to get in here if we can squeeze it into time. I'm your host, Bill Soups On, and with me today in the booth is a man wise beyond his years, the youthful sage, Ayrton Ellis, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders as our director, Joe Peak, and the cameras are located been provided by Dougie Brown. Well, the second event of the 3-race Japan leg stays in the land of the rising sun, Twin Rings Motegi, where the temperature is, it's a nice warm temperature day today. I don't see my temperature because they caught us by surprise, so we'll give you the temperature later on in the race. Ayrton, why don't you tell us a little bit about the track?
Thanks, Bill. Well, this track, it's about 14 turns long, and these guys will be running about 2 minutes 20 seconds around this track. It has quite a variety of turns and elevation changes as well, and a lot of passing opportunities. So definitely going to be a fun race.
Yep. And let's go ahead. We're going to skip the lap guide here because we're running out of time. So let's go ahead and do the standings right now. Last week was our opening race there, and you can see that Evan Maillard is our leader. Yuris Jelenko is in second. There's a couple rookies there: Dakota Dickerson, Mika Eschweiss, and Kyle Potts running in third, fourth, and fifth. John Allen had a great performance running in sixth there, and then the rest of those guys we're used to seeing. Richard Losper up there thanks to some bonus points. Okay, let's go ahead now and quickly move to the keys to the race, brought to you by Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. Go ahead, Aaron. What do you think the keys to the race might be today?
Well, the most important thing is the Quick 6 gimmick, which is implemented during this race, second race of the season. So the top 6 guys are switched according to how well they've done so far this season. And that's and I think it was Sergio Mora on top for the pole of this race. And then also we're going to have a 1 pit stop due to a small tank on these MX-5s. Pit window is going to be between and 13 out of the 19 laps here today. And then, of course, as always, lap traffic going to be a factor. We've got full field of 42 cars.
We have the phrase that pays. Now, viewers, we have something new here. Tidal Influence phrase that pays. The first mail in after one of the announcers, either Ayrton or I, says the phrase that pays that you see on your screen right now gets added to the end of the season lottery there, and you have a chance to win $50. So when you hear that phrase that pays, which I'm not going to say right now, or you'd have to email in right now, shoot an email to, that's for Tidal Influence, TI, phrase that pays at AOL.com. Make sure you leave your name so we can mention you at the end of the race if you're the winner. Okay, well, we had dancing girls lined up. We had songs to sing. Ayrton and I had a soft shoe we were going to perform, but we don't get to do any of that because of the gremlins. But we got it all in. So it looks like it's about 30 seconds to go here, about 20 seconds to go before the grid, Ayrton.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited for this race. I've never seen a full field at Twin Rings Motegi, so it's going to be exciting. There's a lot of passing opportunities, a lot of straight, so draft is definitely going to be a factor on some of these going into some of these corners.
Yeah, I think if I were a fan and I were buying tickets, I would take turn 11. It's a downhill right-hander where you have to really brake early because the car just won't slow down. I think that's the passing zone, and I think that's where there's going to be a lot of tears today too as people try to dive to the inside. It's going to be very exciting. We have about 17 out of the top 20 drivers from last race have come back, so it looks like they're gridding right now. So Ayrton, why don't you go ahead and set the field?
Yep, we'll start on first due to this quick six gimmick is Sergio Mora. In second will be John Deuce Allen, Dakota Dickerson in third, then Kyle Potts in fourth, Yoshilenko in fifth, Evan Maillard in sixth, Dave Gelink in seventh, and Amjad Yaman in eighth, Marcelo Pagnan in ninth, Simon Van June in 10th, then in 11th place we've got Joseph Arrow, Jair Yanis in 12th, Carlos Torres in 13th, Benjamin Nelson in 14th, Matt Malone in 15th, Timo Tilianen in 16th, Daniel Alencar in 17th, 18th is Drives Nice, 19th is Stefan Overgaard, Bill Randleman in 20th. Bill?
In 21st, if I can find it real quickly here, it looks like, I go to the grid, sorry, 21st, we're going to hustle through here, oops, the lights are up, we'll get those other drivers. Okay, they go down into the first turn. You see that Sergio Mora is leading the field there in that blue car, going in to the first corner. As I scroll back up to the leaders, Mora holds it. Looks like John Allen's going to hold the inside, taking into second position there. Right behind him is that Dakota Dickerson, I think, in that black and yellow car. And then in the white and blue yellow car there is our rookie Kyle Potts. Looks like Dickerson making a move now on John Allen there. He's going to get that position as they go to the inside here. And Dickerson's going to have the momentum. No, John's going to have the momentum. It looks like he's going to hold second position. Ayrton?
Yeah, it looks like Kyle Potts also going to get run on these guys as they're still side by side. Dickerson now stuck on the outside as Kyle Potts going to get in the inside. Going into turn 5, he might get the position for third place on the start of this first lap. Earlier on, Yoshilenko also went off, lost a little bit of time, but Kyle Potts still on the inside manages to get the position. Dickerson lost a little bit of grip through that corner, and he's going to now drop down to fourth.
Everybody looked clean at the back of the pack there. Now Mora, who had a horrible finish last week, he finished in the quick six. He was under one of the top 6 qualifiers, but because of his horrible finish in the first race, he's going to get the pole position. John Allen's holding a nice job holding in there in second position, with Dickerson now running in fourth as Potts has third position. We go back a little bit farther. It's Jelenko. Now, somebody to keep an eye on in that orange car running in sixth position. He's our winner from last week, Evan Maillard. He's the season 8 champion. And he's running in 6th. He's going to take his time to get around those guys. We go back one more spot. We got a very controversial driver, Dave Gelink from the Netherlands. Right now you can see him in that blue car there with the blue wheels as Amjad Yaman is making a move on the inside there. Amjad Yaman in that green colored car as they go side by side. As it looks like they're heading down, I think, into the, would that be the hairpin coming up, I believe now.
Now, turn 11, the downhill braking zone. This is one of my favorite corners on the track. You go very fast. I have to brake very late entering this corner, and it's definitely going to be a great passing zone for some of these drivers.
Yeah, turn 11 is the one I was talking where you want to buy your tickets. That they go right now under the oval that loops around over the top of these guys. Maillard still running back there in 6th position, taking his time. Very clean so far. I don't think we've had any drivers out. As I look, we're going to get all 42 drivers through, I think, cleanly on the first lap. Good job, boys.
And some people have also tried making some passing maneuvers. Maillard seems to be right on for the beginning of this race so far. He's already peaked on a few corners. Trying to look for a place. You can get run on some of these corners, but actually getting right on the inside of them entering the corners is actually pretty difficult in these cars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they decide to make their move, where the real passing zone is. Now, as you see there on the screen, you got Jelenko and Maillard there. Jelenko in that kind of white, orange, and black car. Maybe it's red, I don't know. And Maillard and certainly that orange car behind them running in 5th and 6th. Now, the guy to keep an eye on who's really fast, as you see Maillard taking a peek on Jelenko, peeking in there, is Dave Gelink running in 7th place right now in that brightly blue wheels. They're easy to tell him. He was very close to getting a penalty and being on probation. He appealed his penalty and he won the penalty, and he in 7th position, but he doesn't look like he has the pace to stay up with those guys. As we're watching now, you see Maillard peeking on the inside of Jelenko as we're looking through the camera of Jelink's windshield there, and Maillard takes over 5th position from Jelenko.
Yeah, Jelinko just playing it smart. Doesn't want to fight too hard too early and risk getting having contact, which could really damage these cars. These cars are really prone to contact, so that will really slow you down if you get that early and affect you in the race.
Because of the quick six, we're going to stay up with the leaders here for a while, guys. So this is where the action is, as you're watching maybe one of the best MX-5 drivers on the iRacing service, Evan Maillard, work his way through the field. And he's not getting around slow guys here. He's getting around some top-quality guys. Sergio Mora leading the field did he win? He did not win the Continental Series. I went to Amjad Yaman, but he's certainly a factor in that one. In fact, let's go ahead, Ayrton, and take a look at Amjad right now. He had a horrible race last week, got knocked out in the first lap. There he is in that green Child's Play car, running currently in 8th position.
Yeah, he's definitely having a better start of this race as opposed to last. And actually, last season he didn't have a great season in this series, just because, I mean, the competition really raised the bar at the beginning of last season. It's just as high up this season. So, I mean, he's looking good for this race. 8th place is definitely a great place to start for him.
One of his biggest fans is my 92-year-old mother-in-law. She calls him Ramjet because she can't... oh, we have a pass for the lead here. As we see that John Allen's making a move, taking a peek on Sergio Mora. Is not going to happen right now. Just giving him a peek. Let's see if he bumps him here as he goes into the V corner. Nope.
Oh, he's going to get the grass. He's
There we
going to
go.
spin
John
right
Allen's
into
is
Kyle
loose.
Potts.
John Allen spins. He got into Potts. Careful, John. Keep it right there on the grass. Don't bring it out in front of people. Good job.
Now, Kyle Potts got hit pretty hard from that. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much. But definitely that was really close. You don't want to hit that grass on the outside of turn 3 there. You definitely lose grip, as you just saw.
Yeah, that was turn 3. As you see now, turn 3's, and then turn 4 is flat out, and then John lost it in turn 3, got into Kyle Potts in the yellow car. Potts left running in second. I guess they're telling me it's a green car. Okay. We'll have to see how Potty is doing here, if his car has been damaged or not.
Well, he's actually sitting on the side of the road. I think he just pulled off, so I think he might be exiting the car. Yeah, he's out of the race.
Yeah, Kyle Potts is chastising John Allen, saying you got to get your foot off of it when you lose it like that. That's a tough break for both those guys.
So yeah, what was a really aggressive move and fun. It turned out to be
Of the distance between drivers there.
Sergio Mora actually has a lot more breathing room now with that with John Allen and Kyle Potts now not behind him anymore. So Dakota Dickerson, it's his chance to try to catch up to him. He's about a second behind at this point, so I think a little just out of drafting range. Might still be able to get that draft to get back up to Mora.
Yeah, Maillard has now, well, we saw him get around Jelenko, which put him into 5th place. And then, of course, with John Allen and Potts being eliminated from the race, that puts our Season 8 champion now into 3rd place. John Allen, he started last Season 8, was his rookie season. He had a horrible start to last season, going out on the first lap almost every race. We thought he got that behind him. It looks like a little bit of that is going to haunt him still. As we're looking at a great battle there, as we see Trevor Mack in that McDonald's car going by. That's Carlos Torres in that brown Colombian coffee car on the outside there, trying to make a move. What position is that for as we look from the blimp? There goes Carlos Torres, picking up now, moving into 23rd position. Nice job, Carlos. Still in a battle, though.
Yeah, Carlos actually had a really good race last week at Suzuka, actually. He was battling, I think, in the top 10.
Yeah, he must have had a very bad qualifying session. Usually he's up near the front. In fact, he's been in the quick six from time to time, so starting so far back is rough for him. He was the 2nd best rookie of the year last season behind Maillard, who was obviously the champion, was rookie of the year. Certainly a good driver, as we see there. Torres making a move looking on the inside as they go through the S's. Plenty of room there.
He shoots to the inside once again. Just going to get the inside. This corner, I find it one of the most difficult ones. It's so easy to get that understeer on the exit. He manages to get the move done, but it's so easy to go off on the exit of that and skim the grass and scrub a lot of speed.
Now the driver he was getting around was Dario Bussi. Now we were even wondering Dario, and this is a rookie. He has an I rating, and for those people who don't know what an I rating is, the way iRacing rates some of these drivers, he has an I rating on the road course of below 300, but he had like 46 wins. He's doing some crazy stuff where he's not actually entering some of the races to keep his I rating down. As we see Busi right now, and we see that DB car. Is that, I think that's Celentano. Is that not, if I know Celentano? Yeah, Celentano gets around Busi there for another position. So Busi, although his I rating is really, really poor, I think it's a better driver than his I ratings reflect.
There's quite a lot of position swapping in this back end of the pack. It's actually in the middle of the pack, considering that there's over 40 drivers in the race, so still a lot of action going on between these guys.
Now, if you see, there's Maillard in that orange car running in third. You see Jelenko right behind him there. And the driver that we've been talking about is Dave DeLink. Still has those guys in his sights. Maillard fending off Jelenko. Still running in third with Mora up there. And our rookie, Dickerson, running in second place.
Yeah, Dickerson's actually losing a little bit of ground from Sergio Mora. 2 laps ago, he was about second behind. Now he's 1.5 behind, and also the guys behind him, that means that they'll be losing time as well. So Sergio Mora having a really good run in the first half of this race.
Now, up into the sixth position, we were talking about this was Amjad Yaman. I'll finish my thought. His biggest fan is my 92-year-old mother-in-law, who is sick in the hospital right now. Jean, we're thinking about you. She loves Amjad Yaman. She can't remember his name. She calls him Ramjet. So that's a pretty good name if you want a nickname from a 92-year-old, my mother-in-law. So it's Ramjet Yaman. Yeah, we like that name. Running third right now. You see him running sixth right now behind Galenk in that blue, the bright fluorescent blue colored car. Look at those cars come down in a line there. Dickerson, Maillard, Jelenko, Galenk, Yaman. And who is that running behind Yaman? That
Pagnan.
is Marcelo Pagan running back there. Pagnan running, blew his name again. I worked so hard on this week. Marcelo running in seventh position right now. He's a rookie.
Yeah, so these guys are coming up on lap 6 right now as they're exiting the final corner. Actually, Dickerson getting a little loose. He might have Maillard on the back of him pretty soon coming into the next few corners, but now the pit window is open. Lap 6, here we come. So between lap 6 and 13, these guys are going to have to make their pit stop for the race, and that can definitely turn the tides.
Now, we just mentioned for Marcelo Pagnan, he must have got a slowdown penalty because he's been passed now by Yuri Yanis, who took over 7th position. And right now, Pagnan's in a battle with Simon Van Doon as they go side by side. Very close. Van Doon in that red car, Pagnan in the black car. As they head, Pagnan's going to have the inside as they head into, I'm going to get these corners right now. I believe this is 3 and 4. None of these corners have names, so there's 3. 4 is almost a flat-out corner there. As you see Pagnan in the black car, Van Doon going to take a look now. He's going to the outside because turn 5 is going to be a right-hander coming up. Van Doon peeking on the outside. I don't think he's going to make it happen as they're going to make a right-hander here and go under the tunnel.
Yeah, this corner is hard to pass, and you can get a run to it, but it's really difficult to pass him. He's actually going to get to the outside. The next corner is flat out, so he might be able to get a good run as they head up into the, I think it's the S's coming in after this. No, not after this. It's turn 6.
No,
6 and then that last.
Yeah, here come the S's right
he's
now.
on the inside.
So he has the inside here, but then Pagnan's going to have the inside here, but Van Doon keeps a little momentum. No, Pagnan's going to be able to close the door on him. Nice job. Now here comes the V corner. I don't think that Van Doon's going to peek inside this one. Have a sharp, almost 180 degree, not really quite. It's the shape of a V. That's why they call it V corner. And now they're going to head down into the hairpin.
Joseph Arrows actually caught up to these guys with them battling, so that's going to give him a chance to fight in that for that 8th place position with these guys.
Let's stay on this battle right now as they go through the headpin. Now here comes the downhill straight. It's pretty level here. Then it dips downhill, and then the braking zone is downhill as they head into a right-hander. There you see Van Doon peeking. He's going to peek on the outside. This is going to be interesting. He has the momentum. Nope, he's going to back out.
And Pagnan going very defensively. Van Doon might be able to get the crossover as he tries to get better exit. Pagnan actually goes into the dirt. That's going to a little bit, but this final section here, it's so difficult to pass in. It's just so tight right here. It's impossible to get on the inside, but it looks like Joseph Arrows actually closed up on June a little bit through that last sequence right there.
Yeah, Arrow's a longtime veteran, 90, I think 97 his belt right now, having a very good season. Had a great first race, and happy back there licking his chops, letting those guys battle.
I'm looking back up at the front, and actually Maillard managed to get around Dickerson. He's actually closing the gap on Sergio Moore as well. Yermolenko is right behind Dickerson right now as well. So Dickerson having a little bit of trouble, might have had a slowdown, or maybe Maillard just got him by pure pace.
Yeah, now Jelenko's not going to want to let Maillard get away from Dickerson. So if Dickerson can't hang in there, at least stay in his toe, Jelenko can't afford to let Maillard get away. Meanwhile, Amora's out there dancing to the rhythm of the road, comfortably out in first place.
I'm wondering what the strategy for pit stops is going to be for these guys as we're riding on board with Mora. I wasn't at last race, but do you guys know if did they pit early or late in the pit window?
We had a few guys that really stretched it. If I remember right, I think it was Jelenko who ran a very long stint. Maillard came in 3 or 4 laps early, and we thought that Jelenko would have to cover, but he didn't. He stayed out, and he lost some time while they were running hot laps, but Maillard's pit stop was just horrendous and made for a very close finish.
He's going to make sure not to repeat that, as he actually goes a little wide on the exit of the hairpin right there. That's going to scrub him some speed since he's going on this straight now. Dakota Dickerson might be able to get on the inside as they're heading down into turn 11. He isn't getting as much draft as he would like. It looks like he's actually going to back off, not try to pass in that corner.
Yeah, Maillard's not going to give you too many of those opportunities, and Dickerson said, boy, I'd like to get this while I got it, but he wasn't able to do it. Jelenko hanging right in there in 4th position right now.
But yeah, I actually think Maillard is catching up to Mora bit by bit for each lap. So before long, this is going to be instead of a 3-car race for second, a 4-car race for first.
Yeah, Maillard knocked off about 0.2 of a second that time on Mora, the leader. So yeah, I would not be surprised if Maillard runs him down. Maillard was I believe he was the fastest qualifier in there. I don't remember seeing that. I know Jelenko.
No, Mora was the fastest.
Oh,
Mora
had
the fastest lap.
Okay, and then the quick 6 put him up there. So, with Mora being the fastest, Ayrton, he's going to be tough to catch.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Maillard is no slouch. He won last season, and I mean, he proved it really well. He was very fast, and also Yermolenko, he's very fast as well. He's a pro driver, or at least former pro. I'm not sure if he's still pro. But, I mean, all these guys are extremely fast. I can't wait until Jan Koemans comes back as well, and also maybe João Freitas as well.
And Richard Eklund is a name we can't forget either. We saw in that long shot there a second ago that even Galink and Yaman still have these guys in sight, so they're still within a good pit stop of taking the lead. And we call Amjad Yaman the doctor. He's really good at pit stops, so he'll get out his little calculator, figure out just the least amount of fuel these guys can take. Their gas tank is 3.6 gallons, so they have to drive long enough to let the fuel empty out so they can take enough to get to the end. They're there now, so these guys can make a pit stop anytime, but I haven't seen any of the top runners come in yet for a pit stop.
Yeah, it's already almost halfway through the pit window. In fact, these guys have to pit 4 lap, or at least at lap 13. They're going to push it that late, so they've still got some time.
And we have a battle on the screen right now. Who is that director again? Oh, Garcia and Allen there as they go side by side. You see John Allen in that blue car. He's back. He had that early incident where he went off track. Apparently his car was not as damaged as Kyle Potts, who had to put an end to his day.
Yeah, he's sitting in 14th at the moment, so he's still trying to catch back up. I mean, he might be able to get into the top 10 before the end of the race, but definitely that instant at the beginning of the race really set him back.
And I think that's Bill Randleman right in front of him. So Bill Randleman in the white car, John Deuce Allen in the blue car, and then Garcia in the dark car behind them. There's Celentano. You see him in that black and white colored car, taking a move again on that brown Carlos Torres. Torres from Colombia obviously drives that brown car. Celentano, nice move there as they is up ahead of them is George Fike.
Oh, Torres actually goes into the pits.
stop. We still don't have the leaders, any of the leaders in yet, though, to really get a benchmark on where we are. Mora, Maillard, Dickerson, still out there.
Yeah, there's a few guys that head into the pits. Lanowet, no, wait, did he?
Yeah, we're looking at Lanowet right now on the screen in the battle. Meanwhile, if we go back to the leaders, we'll go back up there, Director. We can see that Maillard has knocked off another 2/10 off the lead. He's now within a second of Mora. I wonder, Ayrton, if these guys are if they would even make a move. There's really no point in making a move now when you have pit stops coming in. I would just get as close as I can and wait for the pit stops to see where we shuffle out to.
Yeah, that's probably it. And even Maillard can even save a little bit of fuel just by getting the draft. I know it's not really that much of a draft jack, but if you can lift off your throttle a little bit on the straights every now and then, you can save a little bit of fuel. Maybe help his pit stop be that just a little quicker. But I mean, he's right on the back of Sergio Moore at this point. Also, Dickerson right on the back of him, giving him no space to breathe. And Yershchenko actually has fallen a little bit back from Dickerson at this point.
Yeah, that's surprising. Mora made a mistake in turn 9, and that let Maillard catch up there. What's surprising is that Jelenko is losing touch with the top 3. We'll see if he can just get the tail of that draft. I think there's a little bit of draft on this track that might be able to suck himself up there. It's not really not a lot of technical sections that the drivers could drive away. Look at Maillard really now putting pressure on Mora as Mora goes outside wide. I think Maillard may make the move here.
Oh yeah, he got a really good run.
I think he's got him.
Yeah, he's definitely got him going into this corner. I don't think Sergio Moore should even try to fight it. He's actually going to try to stay on the outside. This is going to give a chance for Dickerson to get on the inside as well. Moore might lose 2 positions in just 2 corners. He actually goes wide as well. Yeah, that's going to give the position to Dickerson as they both pass him through turns 1 and 2, and now they're going into turn 3. Sergio Moore has to slot back in 3rd.
That was a nice move by Dakota Dickerson there, capitalizing on the opportunity. Now, without Mora in front of Maillard to slow him down, we'll see if Dickerson can hang on. And
oh, yeah,
Jelenko
definitely.
Jelenko, that gave an opportunity. Jelenko now has pulled up right behind Mora in that blue car. Jelenko now running in 4th place as we're going Maillard, Dickerson, Mora, and Jelenko.
I'm really impressed with Dickerson so far. He's been very patient. I haven't seen him that much, but he's doing really well for a rookie.
No, he had an opportunity when Maillard made a mistake, and he said he bided his time, didn't jump at it, and he's doing very well. You know, he's a rookie here in the MX-5 World Tour, but he's a known name, I think, in the regular iRacing circuit.
Yeah, so these guys have 3 laps until they have to make a pit stop. So I'm wondering if they're all going to try to come in together and just go through pit lane together, or they're going to maybe space it out, and if one of them goes in, the other is like, oh, I got to set in a really fast lap right now.
Yeah, I just don't think you want to let Maillard have too many clean laps. Our director was saying, you know, if you pit early, there's a good chance you're going to come out behind slower drivers. So you might sit, if the track is clear ahead of you, you might just want to race this thing until it's dry. Now, I did a fuel run. I was able to do 13 laps, but, you know, I'm not on the gas as much as Maillard is. So I'd be surprised if he can get 13 laps.
Yep, and that's Sergio Moore and Yershchenko heading into the pits right now.
Okay, now these are 2 veterans who know how to make a good pit stop. One advantage for Moore is he's going to have the very last pit stall because he was our fastest qualifier. So he's going to be able to keep an eye on Jelenko, and when he sees Jelenko make a move, he's going to be able to get out, stop the fuel, and get out ahead of him.
Oh, Jelenko missed his pit stop. He had to reverse back in. That's going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, that's going to cost him. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him now file out. He's taking tires. That's interesting. Jelenko,
yeah, he took left side tires. Yeah, he came out. He's already out. Sergio Moore is still in his pits.
Something seems fishy in Denmark.
So either Jelenko short-fueled it, which I'll be surprised he would do. That's a rookie mistake. Or Sergio Moore actually forgot to change the amount of fuel to put in his car, and he put a full tank.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I see it's impossible for somebody to miss their pit stop, take 4 tires, and still beat a guy out. So Uh, Jelenko had a 12.8 and Mora had an 18-second pit stop. 18 seconds is too long. That's too much fuel.
We'll just have to compare it to when Maillard and Dickerson come in. Because either Jelenko had a really, really fast stop and might have short-fueled it, which I'll be surprised if he did. I don't think he did that. Or Sergio Mora made a mistake and took too much.
Now there's your leaders, Maillard and Dickerson, running 1-2. Galenk and Yaman have also not pitted. You can see them in the frame in the very back there. So they're running 3 and 4 right now. It'll be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Galenk and Yaman don't end up ahead of Mora after that disastrous pit stop. Maillard beginning to put a little space between him and Dakota.
Yeah, Dickerson was right on his bumper at this point last lap, and he chose not to make a pass going into 11. So I think he's just keeping a distance, trying to just stay within the draft at this point. As you said earlier, there's no point really to try to pass before the pit stop. Let's see if they come in now. No, they stay out.
Now, if I go back and look at like where Sergio Mora is to see if he's in traffic, he's got a pretty clean lap ahead of him. Jelenko also has nobody in front of him, so at least these guys aren't being held up by traffic.
Actually, Jelenko our pack right in front of him.
But it looks like he has a little bit of distance there. He's not... Yeah, it's coming. He's coming, but he's got... I don't think they're holding him up yet. Yeah, they will soon. As we see John Allen pull off there in pit. That was the blue car. So he's got those 2 guys ahead of him. I think that's Randleman and Daniel Allen car ahead of him there. Yeah,
so I think actually, oh yeah, Amjad Yaman and Dave Klink came out right in front of Jelenko, and Sergio Mora is right in front of Yaman. So actually, Delank managed to get the position on Mora.
Yeah, now that's interesting that Yaman came out. You would think that he would have done a little bit better than that. So you have right now, if we look at it, we have Jelenko, who's made his pit stop just ahead of Amjad Yaman. And Mora is ahead of Yaman, so it's Jelenko. And does Galink have all of them beat? Is that what we're saying?
No, Galink is behind Jelenko.
Okay, got it.
But Jelenko getting held up by, I think that's Garcia and Randleman, who are actually battling it out. He managed to get around Garcia, but now has Bill Randleman to pass as well. I don't think those guys have done their pit stop. Yeah,
so our leader of the drivers who have pitted, if you want to look for a benchmark, is Jelenko. And you see him right now. He's got Bill Randleman, a veteran ahead of him. Well, he's a rookie to this series, but he's well known on the iRacing circuit. Jelenko's going to want to make short, get by Randleman as soon as he can, as he closes in on him. Can't do it. Meanwhile, we're looking on the screen. Maillard and Dickerson still going.
Yeah, Dickerson actually closed back up the gap that was expanded just the lap earlier, so he's definitely keeping up in pace with Maillard. Are they? Yeah, they're still not going into the pit, so they're extending it as long as they can. Actually, I think Maillard made a little bit of a mistake there. Dickerson's going to get a run. I'm not sure if he's going to try to make a pass into one, but he's definitely got a run on him.
If I were Dickerson now, he's been behind him for 4 or 5, maybe 6 laps. You know, in theory, you have to take the same amount of fuel whether you pit on early or you pit late. But if you are in the draft, you're not burning up as much fuel. It could be that Dickerson has in his tank a little bit more fuel than Maillard may have. He might be able to take less.
And that could have been why Jelenko's pit stop was so fast. I mean, he was sitting in the draft all race until his pit stop. He was sitting behind Maillard at the start, and then he was sitting behind the leaders for most of the race. So he might have saved some fuel.
And you know, Aaron, I think we got to tip our hat to Dakota. In fact, is he going to make a move on Maillard? He's right up behind him. Nope.
No, this corner's too hard.
But he's right there hanging with the Season 8 champion. If he can beat him in the pit stop, Dickerson might be hard to get around.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys are having a chance open for them because Jelenko, he just spent the last couple laps getting through traffic, so he actually got slowed down a little bit between the pit stops, and Dickerson and Maillard, they've had no one to pass in the last, like, 10 or so laps that they've been racing. So, I mean, I don't even see that much traffic in front of them now, so they can go as long as they want until they have to pit for that fuel.
Yeah, Jelenko is 31 seconds behind the leader. It's hard to say, you do a 12, 13-second pit stop, but that doesn't take into account the time on pit road and exiting pit road. But Dickerson right in there as we're looking at Jelenko right now. Oops, now we're back on the leaders. This is our close battle. Now, I'm telling you, I did 13 laps, and I'm not on the throttle like Maillard is. But, maybe he gets better mileage than I am because I'm often on the throttle so much. Maybe he can keep the momentum up. He can go more than 13 laps, but it's got to be timed this time.
Yep, both of them going in. We got to keep our eye on this.
Look at that pit entry as they weave back.
Dickerson in pit entry.
Okay, here they come. Maillard's going to be pitting ahead of Dickerson, I think, because I think Maillard had a faster qualifying time. So Dickerson's going to keep an eye on him. No, maybe I'm wrong. Looks like
Dickerson was gridded in front.
Oh, that's right, but it's based on grid. You're right. So Dickerson's out in front now. He's going to be able to see Maillard in the rearview mirror. Let's see which one of these guys. Excuse me. No tires for either one, unlike Jelenko.
Jelenko took those tires, so that might have actually helped him.
There goes Maillard and Dickerson right out with him.
Oh, they're side by side. Now, where's Jelenko? He's on the front straight. He just passed the finish line just now. These guys are going to come out in front of him.
And
these
Maillard,
guys are both coming out in front of them.
Maillard but there's Jelenko right behind him. He's got him in sight. Maillard got out ahead of Dickerson. So Maillard now is your virtual leader. Dickerson in second, but Jelenko has him. He has him in sight. He's running in third. Maillard was weaving. It might have been an iRacing glitch because it didn't show up on my screen. So it might have been our director was saying he saw him weave. I saw it on his broadcast as well, but it didn't show up on me. So
he's weaving now.
Yeah,
I think he's just maybe warming up the tires. Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking he's warming up the tires, but that's certainly letting Dickerson stay right behind him.
Yeah. I'm interested here because Jelenko, he took those left side tires. That might help him catch up to these guys. He might have just a little bit of pace, a little bit better pace, but he's a good, I would say about 3 seconds, 2-3 seconds behind these guys, so he's going to have to do some work to catch up.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta worry that he took enough fuel. I don't know how he could be so close and take 4 tires and get it done. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And look at Dickerson, and we're on board with Dickerson now. And that's Maillard in the orange car, our leader up ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
1-2.
It's not unheard of that a veteran will take too little fuel. I think there was a race last season where Sam McAleer, who's our season 3 champion, actually ran out of fuel on the last lap. So it's definitely not unheard of.
Well, the calculations are it takes about 6 seconds is what they're thinking per gallon. So if you can take a quarter of a gallon left, you see kind of the black and white position here. Looks like
12th.
12th.
11th, actually, yeah.
Let's go ahead, director, and let's get a little business in here before things get too exciting. Well, that's a nice battle. I hate to leave that battle. We got to get in our last call, brought to you by Blondie's Bar in Long Beach. Blondie's Bar, the place to be. Our director will get the graphic up there in a minute as I surprised him. We're going to start with Tori Tesla running in 35th position right now. He's the last car on the lead lap. He had to serve a stop-and-go penalty. If we go one spot up ahead of him, there's our graphic on there. Little guy yelling last call. Wayne Fielder there running in the blue car, running in 34th position. He's a rookie. Let's go one more spot up. We're going to go to Trip Smith in that beautiful, look at that car. That's a beautiful LL Bean car. There's a moose on the front of it. Nice job. Running in 33rd position. One more spot up. There's one of our sponsors, Yanni Tulianen, in the Eagle's Nest Cavern car in Green Valley Lake. Stop in and get a cold drink and a hot meal, though that comes later in the broadcast. One more spot up ahead. Running in 31st position is Al Heaton in that black car there. Looks like a Monster Energy car. Another position up is David Tejeda in the white striped car there, and we'll go one last spot to one of our favorite drivers in the roaster preservation car. The only guy driving on the right side of the car, Jonathan Kerr, running in 29th position. That's your last call, brought to you by Blondie's Bar in Long Beach. Blondie's Bar, the place to be. Let's go back up to the front, Ayrton.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the top two, and actually Jelenko's closed in a little bit, about 3/10 in that last lap, so he might be able to catch up to these guys, maybe get within the draft. Besides him, Gelink, Mora, Yaman, they're all pretty far back. They're all spread out as well, so I'm not sure if they're really in the fight for the lead for this race. We've got about 4 laps left until the end.
Yeah, Gelink has speed, but he's in 4th place. He can see the leaders, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get there. We'll have to see if Jelenko's tires help him out. But the real battle, I mean, we'd like to go through the field and see stuff, but the real exciting battle is right here at the front. It's between Evan Maillard and Dakota Dickerson. And Ayrton, if you were Dakota, where would you try to make the move? Going down in the downhill straight into that right-hander?
I mean, I think the place where actually he gets a little loose in that corner, I think he skinned the grass on the inside. The place where Dickerson has consistently been really good at catching up to Maillard is actually the straight after the hairpin and before turn 11. Like almost every lap he's been getting a run and would just sit behind Maillard and not make a move. It might not be a very safe corner to pass in since you're going downhill while braking. It's a very fast corner. But I think that's the best shot where he really has the pace on Maillard. That or turn 1, waiting for Maillard to get bad exit on the exit of the final corner might be a good chance. But I mean, knowing Maillard, he's not going to make many mistakes. But this Dickerson's been waiting a while, and Jelenko's right on the back of him now.
Yeah, if you look in your screen there, you can see that Jelenko has closed right up, and it won't be long. He'll be right there. If Dickerson can hang on to Maillard, don't want to let him get away. I'm not sure if Jelenko has closed up or if Dickerson has just kind of fallen back into Jelenko's sights there. But no, they're hanging in there. It's pretty close. It's going to be a nice battle. And remember, Jelenko has fresher tires.
Yeah, they've got a lap car of Tori Tesla in front of them, so it'll be interesting to see if that has an influence on this battle. They're probably going to come up on him on the next half lap or so.
We remember Tesla. He was the last car on the lead lap when we did our Blondie's last call. So he's about to go a lap down. Maillard putting a little distance now, and Jelenko now is closer to Dickerson, and Jelenko may be thinking about making a move here. Very, very good. It's been a very clean race. You know, if we go back, we haven't mentioned this guy. We'll take a quick look back here at Yuri Yanis. If you can keep an eye on the leaders, we haven't mentioned Yuri Yanis. The poor guy got in a crash last week. He had Stefan Overgaard spinning in front of him, and he tried to use the strategy, the rule of thumb, which is to aim at the spinning car, but unfortunately Overgaard, when he got there, the car was still there. The rule is if you aim at the spinning car, by the time you get there, it's gone, but that wasn't the case for Giannis. But right now he's having a good race, running in 7th place, trying to make up for last week's bad performance.
Yeah, I think that actually happened earlier in the race when, if you remember, John Allen spinning around. Evan Maillard used that strategy just to get around him. Though. It was very close. So, good maneuver.
I like working with Ayrton Ellis.
Yeah, Tori Tesla is still right in front of leaders. He actually lets by all 3 of them. So, good driving from Tesla right there.
And I just hear that I have mail, so somebody has been listening to the broadcast and they called in. I'll get that name. Nice job. We have a winner of the phrase that pays. They heard us talking about the spinning car. Congratulations to that viewer. Maybe it's my mother-in-law from the hospital phoning in on her iPhone. The battle for the lead now as we're getting into lap 17. It's staying the same. 1, 2, and 3. Maillard, Dickerson, and Jelenko. And I like this Dakota Dickerson. This is somebody we can keep an eye on for the rest of the season. This is a nice performance. Look at Jelenko right in there, Ayrton. He's there now.
Yeah, and also a battle that we have to keep in mind, we don't have to go to, but David Galink and Sergio Mora are still actually nose to tail. Sergio Mora's actually caught up to him for that 4th place position, so we just got to keep that one in mind.
Yeah, Galink is fast. He has a bit of a reputation of being well, has my partner, my mic booth partner, Ayrton Ellis, puts it, confident. Others may say reckless. Ayrton likes to call it confident because he's that kind of announcer. Galink, you see him there on screen right now, and that fluorescent blue rims on the wheel. Right behind him is Mora. Now, Mora certainly knows how to get around. Galink's going to be tough. It's going to take more than forks and flatulence to get around Galink. Mora's going to have to use every ounce of track knowledge he does to get around that guy that would be for, I believe, 5th position, right? 4th position.
4th. Yeah, these guys have just got just under 2 laps left to go, so next time by is going to be the white flag. Yurchelenko actually I think he just skimmed Dickerson's rear bumper there. That would have been...
He was on the brakes hard. He almost got into the back of Dickerson there, and it cost him. He lost a lot of momentum trying to stay off of Dickerson's tail. So we're on lap 18. We're going to be looking at the final lap coming up here pretty soon. We'll stay on the leaders from here on out. Apologies to you guys battling. We'll try to keep an eye on Galink and Moore because that's going to be exciting. But there you see our leaders up front. It's the Season 8 champion, Evan Maillard from France, and Dakota Dickinson from my home state of California. Right behind them, he's from Slovenia, I think, is Juris Jelenko.
I think Jelenko's little bump was just a little word of encouragement. Like, you can go. Get out there.
Here we go, as Dickerson has been peeking in and out. As we're coming on here, we're going to look at, where are we now on the track? Are we heading to the turn 11? Yes, this is the downhill one. Dickerson's got to get on the brakes because it's down here. Look at Jelenko close. They go to the right-hander now. They're going to go under the tunnel. Then they have a left-right, or a right-left-right as they come up here. And that's going to take us back onto the main straight for the final lap. Dickerson gets a nice run out of the current turn 14, and let's see if he can close in with the draft. Maybe take a shot in turn 1. I don't think he's going to get there, Ayrton.
Yeah, Jelenko went wide. He's lost touch with these guys. Lap coming, I think it's just going to be a battle between Dickerson and Maillard.
Okay, here they go through 1 and 2. It's a pair of right-handers that's going to set up a long long straightaway that's going to set up 2 left-handers. Dakota Dickerson right behind Mora right behind Maillard in the orange car. Dickerson keeping an eye on him, trying to gain ground. Now we're going to have a sharp left-hander, then it's a flat-out left-hander as they go down another straightaway. There's the first left-hander as they go through 4. Now it's flat-out to 5. That's going to be a right-hander.
Oh, he got a good run out of there. He's not going to be able to make a pass into turn 5. It's too difficult, but Maillard going defensive.
No, he's going to look to the outside. Run, you got to make a move, and he's going to go on the outside. He'll have momentum. If he can pin Maillard on the inside, he'll have the momentum. Maybe an over-under move as they have another right-hander coming up here as they go under the tunnel. He wasn't able to make the move, but
this is full throttle.
Dickerson is right there. It's full throttle. Dickerson has momentum. He's got
goes
the
to the
speed.
inside.
I think he's going to get him as they go through the S-corn. Maillard breaks and gives him the inside. Maillard's going to have the inside here as they go through the right-hander. They're coming up to the V corner, which is a left-hander that Dickerson's going to have momentum on. He's going to have the inside. Look at Jelenko following, waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake. They have a sharp left-hander here as they come around now. And Dickerson is going to take the lead. No, Maillard holds on with momentum as they go into the hairpin. Dickerson's going to be on the outside. Look at Jelenko stalking.
Oh, Jelenko might get on the inside going to this corner. He actually hits Maillard the tiny bit. He gets kind of loose.
He turns Maillard. They lost momentum. And Jelenko making a move for the inside. He's going to take the lead with Dickerson right behind Maillard running in third as they go 1, 2, 3.
Dickerson's
Maillard
boxed in.
Dickerson's going to have the inside, though, and this is the braking zone that is downhill. I don't think Jelenko is going to brake. He's going to try to outbrake Jelenko to Maillard. He's got to try to do it here. He's got the inside. And there goes Jelenko. Jelenko now has the lead, but Maillard's going to have the inside as they go under the tunnel. And Maillard is now back in front. There's only 2 corners to go. Maillard is in the lead. Jelenko is in second. Dickerson has fallen off the pace. They go down the right-hander to the start-finish line. And Evan Maillard is going to win race number 2 of the Tidal Influence World Tour.
Dickerson's out of gas. He just
Dickerson
got
is
past
out of gas. Will he be able to finish ahead?
Yep. Mora and Galink took him.
Mora and Galink finished 3rd and 4th. Dickerson finishes 5th as he ran out of gas. We'll go back and see if we can see some of these other guys cross. It looks like Yaman's going to get 6th. Yuri Yanis is going to get 7th. Van Doon crosses in 8th position. Arrow in 9th. We have a battle here. Alan Carr and Dries Nice. As they come, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, Alan Carr, Nice, and Overguard. And behind them is Garcia as they go ahead and finish in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th position, I believe. Marcelo Pagan had a nice start from the beginning, but fell back. Going to finish in 14th position. We'll stay with these lead cars as they go across. Carlos Torres in 15th, Bill Randleman in 16th. Trevor Mack, nice to see him back in 17th. John Deuce Allen looks like he's going to get 18th position. Lana Wet, George Fike going to come across 19th and 20th. We'll stay with these lead cars as they finish up. Celentano, Richard Losper in the GSRC car, going to finish outside the top 20 in 22nd position. Is that all of our lead lap cars? I think we have a few more. Oh, nice battle here.
Jonathan,
let's go back and we have Jiren Ursum in a battle here as they come across. There's people saying they have black flags. People dispute. Okay, I believe we've gone far enough through the finishing order now. Let's go ahead and go to break. We'll come back for interviews and some other housekeeping to do. While we're on break, make sure you watch the slideshow so you can see races are coming up on the GSRC channel. An exciting race number 2. We'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back. And that was an exciting event there as we had a close three-way battle there between my Evan Maillard, Yuris Jelenko, and Dakota Dickerson. Catch our breath, have a little sip during the break. We'll do some interviews. We'll run down the top of the results here. So let's go ahead and I'll do the top 15, and then we'll kick it over to my partner Ayrton to run out the rest of the field. Our winner today, 2 in a row. Call him Butter because he's on a roll. Evan Maillard. Second place, Yuris Jelenko. If memory serves, that was the same 1-2 finish as opening race, I think. Dave Galink had a nice finish in third place. Sergio Mora took way too much fuel. Finished with way too much. He could still drive to the store and come back and still have enough to do an interview. Dakota Dickerson ran out of fuel, finishing fifth place. Amjad Yaman and Yuri Yanis, as usual, it's the Yaman Yanis show, running sixth and seventh. Amjad in sixth place, good for my mother-in-law. She'll be happy about that. Simon Van Doon in eighth position. Joseph Arrow, ninth spot. Daniel Alencar, there's a rookie in the top 10. Dries nice, 11th spot. Stefan Overgaard, nice finish for him in 12th. Baker's dozen position goes to Eric Garcia in the Blondies cars. Marcella Pagman in 13th. Carlos Torres in 14th. And rounding out the top 15 is Bill Randleman, who's in 16th. Aaron?
And then it's Trevor Mack. Behind him was John Allen after his mistake early on. Then Benjamin Lanouette in 19th, I think it was. George Fike in 20th. Anthony Salentano in 21st. Richard Losberg in 22nd. Lino Cheston in 23rd. Jeroen Ursum in 24th. Mika Eschwitz, not as fast as he was last week, in 25th. Conlon Blamey in 26th. Stefan Morian in 27th. Jonathan Kier in 28th. David Chidata in 29th. And Yali Tunien in 30th.
We still have a few more who finished on the lead lap. Al Heaton, 31st. 32nd, Trip Smith. And 33rd goes to Wayne Fielder. Now, those are all your lead lap finishers. The rest of these guys were more than a lap behind. Terry Tesla served a stop-and-go penalty. 1 lap back in 34th. Derek Holland, Dario Bussi, 36. Tom Rathie, we're not sure what happened to him in the Tidal Influence car. We didn't get any screen time for our sponsor. Sorry about that, sponsors. We'll do better next week. We'll get, I'll tell Tom to keep it on the track there. Benjamin Nelson, 38th position, 11 back. Kyle Potty Potts had a great finish last week. Must have gotten into some trouble that we missed, finishing in 39th. 40th position, Matt Showdown Malone, and 41st, Timo Tulianen, and there should have been room for 42, but I don't see a 42nd driver, so that's our top 41. That's the entire 41. I'm hearing from the director, Kyle Potts was ran into on lap 2, and that's what ended his race early, 17 laps back. Okay, well, that does our standings. Let's go ahead and see if we have some interviews to do here. Director, who do we have available? Do we have Evan Maillard is ready? Okay, Aaron, you want to talk to Evan for us, our winner?
Yeah, sure. Maybe we can get him in the booth. Hey, Evan, can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. 2 wins in a row. That was definitely an exciting race to watch.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was definitely a great race today. I had some great battles and I had to hold the pressure from Dakota for like half of the race. It was pretty fun. And yeah, the last lap battle was intense as hell.
So yeah, we were definitely very impressed with Dakota Dickerson showing up. He's a rookie in this series. What do you think of him so far? Do you think he's going to be a contender for the title? Do you think he's someone to watch out for?
Oh, definitely. He's very quick. Yeah, I know him I met him in real life like a couple of months ago. And yeah, he's fast. He's very fast. I think I'll have to worry about him.
And then there's also the pit strategy. Earlier on, Sergio Mora and Yuris Jelenko did a pit stop, and then you and Dickerson waited a little bit longer. Were you planning that from the start, or were you trying to base your pit strategy off of what others were doing?
Oh no, I tried to stay as long as I could on the track, because when you pit, I don't change any tires, so they cool down, and then a couple of laps after the pit stop are pretty slow. So Yeah, I tried to stay out and with Dakota. Maybe he bum drafted me a bit. He bum drafted me a bit, so that helped as well.
Well,
Evan,
Steph,
let me just butt in here for a second, Ayrton. Hey, Ayrton, Evan, can you tell us a little bit about your real life track experiences there, where you got to drive the MX-5?
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, I got invited to the shootout by iRacing. I had a great time there. I went to the US for like 2 weeks. I
What
also did what?
what did you think between the since I know you drive an MX-5 on the roads, don't you, in France? That is your actual car.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Tell me what did you see was the most similar between like the simulated car and the MX-5, and what did you think that was, oh, this isn't right at all. This is way different. What did you find interesting about being in the actual race car?
Well, actually, it was raining very bad, so
Ah,
I couldn't make any actual real comparison. The only thing I could say was the balance of the car was very similar to what it is in racing. Also, the one thing that shocked me was the steering feel. That's pretty much known in the real car either. So yeah, that was interesting. It's even different to my car, which yeah, because it's the new one. It has less feel than in mine. It's weird.
that always seems to happen to iRacing. Every time they bring over a sim racer, it's either like really hot and they can't perform, or it's raining, and that's too bad that you weren't able to get a good comparison. But it was a great video. It was fun to watch, and I thought you represented iRacing well.
Yeah, well, thanks to iRacing for allowing me to represent them.
And thanks for being with us. It's really nice. 2 in a row, buddy. Good luck. We'll see if we can keep the streak going next time. Okay, we're gonna go with Amjad Yaman next. I think. Can we? Is he ready to go? Do we need to bring him in to the booth? And we're waiting to see if we can get to Amjad. There we go. We'll do this together, Ayrton. We'll talk to Amjad. Amjad, you got us?
Yes, dude.
We kept an eye on you. It looked like a pretty peaceful race for you for the most part.
It was, and I needed it after the last race. Yeah, so just started eighth, finished sixth. I'm back to normal now.
Yeah, we talked about that was a tough break. The IRT took a long time looking at the viewers from last week if they saw that first lap incident. It was a very strange incident that you were involved in, wasn't
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, it was about three different people made three different mistakes, and it just all came together, and I was on the losing end.
it? Yeah, it was interesting. Uh, how much difference the qualifying is done under ideal weather. Um, how was the track different? I think it was a little cooler, wasn't it, for the race? Could you tell much difference in the grip?
Oh, most definitely, we're running at least a second faster. It was just for those first few laps you could really fly it, but then once the tires heat up, the pressures got up, then you really had to be careful manage the tires and make sure you didn't push it too hard.
Do you change the setup between qualifying and race, or do you just run with what you got?
I think it's slightly based on the advice I got from my teammate Yeri. He found something in the setup and it actually made it faster for me for qualifying. But I switched it back for the race.
Ayrton, you got a question for our buddy Amjad?
no, just wondering, what do you think, how it's gonna be for next race? I think that's Okayama, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's the double header, so it's two sprint races basically. Not it's not ideal for my driving style because I like these longer races, but yeah, as long as I can qualify well for the first one, I think I'll be fine.
Well, Okayama is where we first saw you. Yeah, I think it was season 6. And I remember that battle. You and Zhao Freitas, definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, thinking back to that, yeah, it was one of those pit strategy wins I had. I can't rely on that on the Okayama doubleheader, but just qualify well and hope to keep everyone else behind me.
Okay, well, see you next week. Great race, man.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I think that'll do it. That was an exciting event. Race number 2 out of the way, and Amjad Yaman goes 2 for 2. So we'll see if we can find somebody to knock him off of that winning streak. And I think we have somebody to keep an eye on, Ayrton, and that's Dakota Dickerson. I did the whole race without calling him Dickinson. Finally did it at the end. That was a pretty good performance from him. 5th place. Fuel. Once he learns to do that fuel calculation a little better, he could be somebody to keep an eye on.
Oh, definitely. I think this season's going to be great. We have a lot of fast drivers: Linko, Galink, Mora. Even when Kumins and Freitas come over, I'll definitely put some more bets on the table.
And Richard Eklund, we miss you too. So we've been waiting for an Eklund-Maillard battle. The racing gods just don't seem to match those guys up, but that's what I'm personally looking forward to. Let's go ahead and do our quick thanks, our sponsor plugs here. We'd like to thank Tidal Influence, an ecological consulting firm based in Long Beach, California, that restores wetlands. Hey, stay with me, guys, because these are going to be fun. Don't leave. Listen to the plugs. Saves, studies an endangered species, and educates children about your environment. For information, go to Tidal Influence. Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. I know you all want to go there. If you come visit Green Valley Lake, it's your best place to go for lodging. Green Valley Lake is the best kept secret in California's San Bernardino Mountains. To find out more about Green Valley Lake, go to gblrental.com. Let me get this right. This is important. gblcabinrentals.com. And our last sponsor is in Green Valley Lake is the Eagle Nest Tavern. Stop in for a cold drink and a hot meal. Check out Eagle Nest Tavern on Facebook. Thanks to the company's equipment and software we use on our broadcast. You all still listening? Come on, stay with these plugs. iRacing.com, XSplit, Twitch TV, Audio Technica, Behringer, and AverMedia. A special thanks to Eric Eklund, whose music is not only found here on GSRT, but in TV commercials, movie trailers, iTunes, and Spotify. If you liked our music, tell Eric where you heard it on Twitter at Eric Eklund. Additional thanks to Casey Milan, who also provides us with music for our broadcast. You can find more of his music at CaseyMilan.bandcamp.com. I want to know why bandcamp.com. Somebody send an email send some type of message. I know why bandcamp. Thanks to my mic mate Ayrton, our director Joe Peak, Dougie Beard for his camera locations. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, you can find it at I like to say www, it's on the script, www.globalsimracingchannel.com, along with archive races and race highlights. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. The Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour returns for race number 3, a unique doubleheader event from Okayama next Saturday, February 21st. But next up for GSRC is the ASRS Amsoil Truck Series 2015 Round 1 from Daytona, Wednesday, February 18th, starting at 5:50 p.m. Pacific time. Because Pacific time, the west coast of the United States is all of our times are Pacific time, 5:50 p.m. Pacific time. And now that the housekeeping is done and it's out of the way, it's time for us to say have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race safe,